This next one, Helpless, aired January 19th, 1999. Uh, WB was the only network airing new episodes of their shows because that was the night of the State of the Union address. And everyone was tuned into that because the State of the Union happened during like the Bill Clinton trial, the impeachment trial or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone wanted to know what he was going to say. And he was like, it depends what the definition of is. He said things
Wow.
like that. All right. Now, all I have this week is that and movies debuting at number one on the movie charts. Logan, I Don't Want Your Life. That's right, Varsity Blues.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
An incredible film, one of my favorites. I watched a movie yesterday that from the 80s that the director of Varsity Blues was an actor in. Apparently he was an actor before he was a director.
That's always cool.
Yeah. And then the other big debut that week, which is a terrible movie, debuted at number 6, In Dreams, a Neil Jordan supernatural horror movie with Annette Bening and Robert Downey Jr. Avoid that one at all costs, gang. And that's all I got, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
The
hope you guys are
writer,
ready.
the writer of Helpless is David Fury, making his second appearance after
He made me furious. All right, I'll tell you that much.
Boy, oh boy, he wrote Go Fish back there at the end of season 2, and now here he is on the writing staff, and this is a big one for him, and it's directed by James A. Contner, who, of course, is going to direct a shit ton of Buffy episodes.
All right.
And his first one was I Only Have Eyes for You, I think.
Okay, it's a good one.
Let me just double check. Double checking, gang.
I think you said that with that last guy.
Oh, yeah. He directed Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered, and Faith, Hope, and Trick. That's why I got confused. And Revelations. So this is his 4th episode of Buffy. Out of the 20 he would go on to direct, and he also directed 13 episodes of Angel. So he's real big here. All right, let's get into it, Logan. Scrote your notes.
Sexy fighting. Buffy and Angel do some exercising, right?
Yeah,
you think it's like a pit. You think they're gonna be eating a nice lunch, but no,
they have
fighting.
a picnic laid out, but they're sparring.
Yeah, pretty good time. And Angel's like, "So when am I gonna see you again?" And he asked about her birthday, and she's like, "Actually, I have to go. I have a date with this old man who likes to be called Daddy," is what she says. And I have a question: Is this like a tradition we know about? We're on season 3 at this point. No, have we not heard about Buffy's birthday ever?
Well, the only birthday we've experienced is the one in Surprise where she fucks Angel.
All right,
and we can accept that maybe this happened around then. Yeah.
She said bye to Dad, and then went to go hang out with Angel.
Right.
All right. So I had a question. I was like, "This is season 3. I don't remember her other birthdays, but I obviously missed her biggest episode so far when
her birthday.
Sex.
Yeah, her birthday's in January. Every year, there's always a Buffy birthday episode.
When is her birthday? Do you know? Like, what is Buffy's birthday canonically?
I used to know. I think it's like January.
Like Harry Potter. You have Harry Potter's birthday.
Yeah, I
right?
do. I think Buffy's is supposedly like January 17th, something like that. It's around there. And yeah, so season 1 starts in March because remember it was a mid-season replacement. So we don't get a Buffy birthday that season. And season 2, come on, you remember because Joyce gets her a cupcake and she's like, "Make a wish."
Yeah,
she
obviously
goes,
I
I'll
do.
just watch it burn.
Yeah, obviously I do.
Yeah.
Cool. Emo Buffy. I miss that era. Well, she's still pretty emo.
Yeah, she'll always be emo.
She's always pissed off. I love it. All right, we're ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right, so Giles and Buffy, they're like, which stone is this? What's this? And they're doing that. And I want to say, I think that Giles I think he got a haircut this episode. I think he
I
looks
didn't
nice.
I didn't notice, but I'm glad to hear it.
I think he's looking real spiffy. Is that a word?
Sure.
I think he looks real spiffy this episode. And we learn Faith. She's been MIA. She's been off doing her own thing.
Yeah,
I don't
no
know.
faith in either of these episodes, but don't worry, she comes back full force next week.
Great, great. I can't wait. And so we go to the playground, and we don't mention it, but this is where those kids died, just in that last episode. Like, I saw the little spinny thing, and I was like, oh yeah, that's where that kid was laid out dead right there.
That's
But
hilarious.
they don't mention it at all, but there it was. And Buffy, okay, I kind of want to get into this. So Buffy fights a vampire, and she freezes up, right? And it's sort of funny. The vampire, instead of biting her, which is should be a vampire's instinct, the vampire grabs the stake and tries to fight her with the stake, which I thought was a little funny. But so the I honestly think this is a mistake by, I don't know if this, I mean the editors only edit probably what the directors tell them. I don't really know how much control editors have on TV shows, but I thought this was a serious mistake here because we cut from Buffy fighting. She's in the middle of fighting the guy, right? And then we go to credits. Okay?
Yeah.
And then we come back from the credits and Buffy finishes fighting the guy and she's like, "Oh, that was weird how that happened." But I think that that's a mistake because you're not going to think that Buffy's going to die. So we don't put the credits as like the suspense of, oh my God, is Buffy going to die? I think you should have Buffy kill the guy and then her go, what was that? And then you do the credits. Because then I think the punchline of this whole thing is what happened to Buffy, not is Buffy going to die. Right? So I think doing the credits after her realizing what's going on is way more impactful than, oh my God, Buffy's gonna die. I thought that was a little silly.
I don't disagree with you, but I guess they wanted to go to credits with that sex metaphor where the vampire's like, now tell me if I'm not doing this right.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
All right, they love the sex on this show. All right, gotta let them do that. Whatever. So we go to school, right? And I feel like they sort of bully Buffy. They're like, the ice? That's so silly. You're you're so old. You're going to see ice shows, but she doesn't care. She likes it.
She loves ice shows. And hey, Oz is nice. He is my favorite line of the episode.
Me
Logan.
too.
Ice is cool. It's water, but it's not.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna love that, and I love that one too. I thought that was great, and so we learned that she's turning 18, which is important.
That was the original title of this episode. 18.
I think that's a great title.
Yeah, they changed it.
Yeah, that's good either way, I guess. But 18 is a great one. I guess we knew she was turning 18 either way, right? But all right. So I have a question.
Street legal.
Yeah, right. So Dad cancels. Was that just because work got involved? That wasn't anything. Giles didn't have anything to do with that.
No. That's just Buffy's dad not being such a good dad.
Yeah. All right, yeah, that's what I thought. But then, like later, when everything happened, it made me question if they had something to do with that because all this had to go right. But all right, that's fair enough. So we meet the bad guys, right? I don't remember their names, but we've got an old guy and two younger guys.
Well, they're the Watchers Count. They're members of the Watchers Council. If you want,
they're bad guys to me, and they try to hurt Buffy.
All right. So the old guy is the head of the Watchers Council. We'll see this character a lot going forward.
All right, I liked him.
His name is Quentin Travers, and the actor who plays him, Harris Yulin. Logan, you recently watched Ghostbusters 2.
Okay.
All right. Now, do you recall at the beginning of that movie, there's a courtroom scene and some ghosts get into the courtroom.
Absolutely.
And the judge goes, "It's the Scolari brothers."
That's him?
That's him.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I think of every time I see that guy.
That's a cool scene.
It's the Scolari brothers. Too. It is. But yeah, he's got two henchmen, Hobson and Blair. And they're watching. We don't see him yet, but there's a vampire in the closet there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so yeah, all right. So I guess that's all we get there. They're just like getting the room ready or whatever. Reminded me of like of Jigsaw, kind of like they're getting the room ready for the trap. It's pretty cool. And so they is this it? We
Is what
learn
it?
we learn about Giles.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to. This is the scene where I was like, oh wow, I love this show. This is a great show, and it wasn't just that, like the Giles stuff. It was Buffy. It was Buffy being like, she's like explaining the eye, and it's like, it's so good, honestly. It's like after Xander had been like roasting her, and she's talking to Giles, and she's like, it's cool, the ice, it's like they do cool stuff. I like it, and it's not just for fathers, watch her. And she's like like dropping hints that he can take her, and she's like, it's really cool, like trying to convince like them and herself kind of that it's cool. It's really incredible, and then you get the Giles. You learn that Giles is the one that's making it where she's helpless. It's you don't get the whole thing, but you learn that, right?
Well, you see him hypnotize Buffy and then stick a needle in her.
Yeah, right here you think he's more evil than he is.
Actually. Yeah, it seems very sinister.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 2 episodes in a row where they try to convince you that one of the main characters has become evil. Because in the last one, there was Willow at that coven or whatever. Yeah. And here you got Giles sticking Buffy with a needle.
But I didn't really think Willow was evil. Here I was actually like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah,
right?
Giles is a mysterious character.
He is. I don't know anything about him. Like Willow, at the end of the day, is just like a high school girl who's like a little into witchcraft. Like this guy is like a watcher at this high school. This is the librarian. I don't know much. It was like a British guy.
His name was Ripper.
His name was Ripper, the Roop Man Charles. I don't know much about him.
And they remind you of Ripper in the previous episode because he grabs one of Cordelia's like hairpins and tries to like shimmy a lock, and she's like, "God damn, you really were a little youthful offender."
Yeah, he is it hot-wired a car? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, we see him do that too.
So this guy, I don't know anything about this guy. It's crazy. But this was an incredible scene, I thought. One of my favorite scenes that we've had. And so Cordelia shows up, right?
Yeah.
And this was kind of fun. She's like, there's like a guy, and he's like being a little rough with her. So Buffy goes to protect him, but she's weak, and so she can't do it. But then Cordelia like punches him, and I thought he did a good job, right?
Yeah. I thought it should have been like Larry or something, but it was just some random guy.
But she wouldn't be dating Larry.
No, I guess you're right. Yeah,
because she tells him like he's like, we were dancing at the Bronze.
Oh, you're right. She
wouldn't do it with La. Oh, I want to bring something up, by the way, going back to the last scene. She is hypnotized, right? During the whole part where he whips out the needle and injects her with it because she's looking at that crystal. But we see we see shots of Buffy's face, and then we see like reverse shots of Giles' face, like when he's like performing the task or whatever. And I want to bring up one moment because when we look at Giles' face for one moment, we see Buffy's eyelids blink. And you're
really?
Like, oh, that's not supposed to happen. Yep, 100%. Buffy blinked in that scene. But I thought this actor was honestly really good here. Because he's like, he pushes Buffy and acts like she doesn't even like leave a mark. And then with Cordelia beating him up, he's like, oh, he's like acting like a real wimp, like she's really hurting him. Because he has to like, we have to understand that Buffy's weak and Cordelia is stronger than. I thought he did a good job. I want to bring that up. So shout out to that guy.
Yeah.
And so, okay, here we go. Another reason I really like this episode is we get some rough language. Kind of. Did you notice this?
I don't know. Tell me.
Well, the first case here, Buffy says, "What the hell is happening?" Which I feel like we haven't really heard a lot. What the hell? That struck me.
That's like rough language.
Well, like, I don't know. It was a little jarring for Buffy. Like, when Buffy's saying, "What the hell is happening?" I was like, ooh, Buffy. Like, she's like, I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. But later on, we get something else. But rough for Buffy. I mean, like they're not saying like you motherfucker, but I don't know, kind of. She's like, I don't know. I really liked it.
I would
Um,
love it if Buffy called Giles a motherfucker in this episode.
yeah, she calls him a bastard later. That's the other thing.
Oh, that's the other thing?
Where
Yeah.
she's like, you bastard, or something like that. And I have a question. Buffy talks to Giles a few times. She's like, what's going on with this? And he's like, sort of shrugs it off. But he seems like he's like, what's the word? Like smirking or like snickering a little bit. Like,
I don't believe so.
you don't think so?
No.
All right, because really, I thought they were trying to play up that he was evil, kind of. And then,
I never have noticed that ever.
but then looking back on the episode, I was like, why did they do that? Because he's not evil. I don't know. I thought it was he kind of smirked in a few places.
I think he's just trying to make it seem lighter. Like, don't worry about it. Like, everything's gonna be fine. Like, that's
yeah. Maybe that's it. Trying to put on like a brave face, maybe.
yeah.
I don't know. But so we learn about the guy Kralik.
Yeah, Zachary Kralik.
Oh, Kralik
is the vampire who's gonna face Buffy in the Cruciamentum.
Yeah, and he's cool. I like him.
He's great. Now, this is a real Luke situation, Logan, because they liked this actor so much, Jeff Kober, that they later bring him back in season 6 as a different character.
I love it. I agree. I thought that he was great.
Yeah.
What did you think? I thought he really left a mark, honestly.
Oh, he's awesome. I like this actor, and he's still working. You see him pop up and shit. He's in a lot of episodes of New Girl, weirdly.
Wow.
Yeah. But, no, I remember when they brought him back. It's not until season 6, and I was like, fuck yeah, Zachary Kralik.
As a different character, though. He played.
Yeah.
He died. Oh yeah, awesome death here. We set it up here. They give him some pills, and they're like, "Drink up, buddy." What do the pills do, by the way?
I think he's a maniac. They set up that he was in a mental institution, so I think like even as a vampire, like the pills make him a little lucid and calmer.
Yeah, he's honestly a really cool character. Yeah, they set up like he was just a crazy guy before he was a vampire. Like he killed a bunch of people,
Right.
and he went to a mental institution, and then he turned into a vampire, which is awesome. I love that.
Yeah, Giles is telling the story, and it's an interesting story. And he starts to say like he was in a mental institution, and then vampires, and then he gets cut off because Buffy throws something at him.
Yeah, it's honestly really cool. This is a great episode. This is a really, I don't want to like overhype this episode, but I really thought that this was a really cool episode.
I love this one.
Good. Yeah, I haven't heard much about what you thought. So they talk about kryptonite. Nothing really there, I guess.
I just want to point out that Xander purports to be a real nerd, but Oz is correct in this conversation about kryptonite. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Wow, was that on purpose?
It must have been, yeah. It was written.
Yeah, I guess so. So Xander, stupider than Oz. Xander doesn't know that much.
That's
I want
right.
to bring something up. We go back to Kralik for a moment when he beats up that guy and turns him into a vampire. And Kralik goes over and he grabs the bottle of pills and he takes some more pills. But I want to bring up, it's so funny how they do it. He clearly, the lid is on it and he just grabs it and tips it upside down, pretends like he takes it and then sets it back down. Like the little capsule with the jar, with the cap on it. It's so funny, I thought. But
Okay.
I just want to bring that up. I thought that was great. And so Angel's back.
Yeah, he's got a gift for Buffy.
Yeah, it's a book of sonnets. Very nice of him.
And
He didn't write them.
inscribed,
They
he
just came
but he
there.
inscribed it. He
What's that
wrote
mean?
he wrote something in the book.
Oh.
Did
That
you
doesn't
notice?
count.
He wrote always.
Oh yeah, what is that?
It means we'll be together forever. I love you.
Oh, wow. So, but can you do that? Just give a lady a book of poetry that you didn't write or come up with, and then just like write one word in it, and they're like, "Oh, wow."
Yes.
What?
From
You-
experience, yes.
You didn't even do shit. You just wrote.
But if you
always.
know a girl likes poetry, then you could get her a poetry book. That means something. It means
Is that
you're
a
paying
thing?
attention. What?
Buffy likes poetry.
I don't know.
We've never heard that. That Buffy. What is Buffy's favorite subject?
She loves Emily Dickinson.
Does she have? When's the last class Buffy went to? Seriously, when's the last time Buffy was in a classroom?
I guess you're right.
I can't remember the last time. I can't actually. There was I remember a teacher at one point in one episode, but I can't pinpoint it. But it was like a season ago, probably.
Well, she had to take all those tests at the beginning of this season.
Oh yeah, you're right. She probably had some encounters there in a classroom. All right, fair enough. We get a Mr. Pointy reference.
Yeah.
That made me excited. Loved that. And Buffy says like that's her favorite one, I think. She's like, Mr. Pointy, my favorite one. I don't know. So Angel, he's like he brings up this time when what's that episode called again? When he went to see her be called?
Oh yeah, that's in Becoming Part 1.
Right. And he's like, she could, because she's like, if I was not the Slayer, then you wouldn't love me. And he's like, well, hold your horses, little lady, because when I went to go see you be called the first time, before you were even the Slayer, I was in love with you that very moment. So you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't
understand, Buffy. You're so hot that me, a 240-year-old man, just saw some rando 15-year-old on the steps of her high school, and I was already obsessed with you, all right?
It's true. It is true. But it's sweet, I guess. Right?
It's sweet if you don't think about it too much.
And it's sort of, the scene ends funny, where he says something about her heart, like,
yeah, I wanna touch your heart and warm it with my own or something.
Yeah, and she's like, aw, well, wait, that's kind of gross, actually, when you think about it. It's kind of funny.
And Angel goes, I was thinking that too.
Oh, man. So, Buffy's on her way home, right? She denied a car ride from Angel for some reason. I don't know why.
For the first time in her life, wearing a red jacket because they want to do a Little Red Riding Hood reference.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So there's two guys, right? They're like, you want to give us a lap dance, honey? Right? And Buffy sort of thinks about it. She's like, should I do that? But
she does not.
I know. Obviously, she doesn't think about it. But then she keeps her, but she thinks like, I could beat these guys up, but I'm helpless. Can't do anything. So she keeps it moving. And she runs into Kralik, right? And Kralik right? And she's like, I prefer when my men sing. And he's like, sorry, I'm a vampire and I can't remember how to sing or something. I don't remember what happened.
No,
but
she says, I prefer when my men know the lyrics. And he says something like, well, I'm a crazy person. My memory's not what it was.
Oh, okay. I thought he meant like all the pills were fucking, I don't know what I thought, honestly. But so this was cool, I thought. Giles picks her up in the car. And honestly, like, I sound lame. But so Giles picks her up, and the guy, there's like a vampire in the car, but then he falls out of the car. Do you remember that moment?
Yeah.
They like knock the vampire off the car, and he rolls. And so we get that shot of just like the car going past the camera and the guy rolling by. And then we see like the reverse shot of Kralik step into frame, and we see the guy roll again off the car. And I went back and I watched it again to see like if they filmed it, if it was just the same thing they filmed from two different angles or not. I watched like how the guy rolled, and if you can see the background from this take or not, if you could see where the camera would be.
You're a maniac.
Well, we're doing the podcast. I try to really pay attention to this stuff. And they did it twice. They shot the guy falling out of the car twice, and he like rolls a different way each time. So you can tell they shot it twice. But I just like the effort they put into this episode. And shout out to that guy, that stuntman who fell off the car twice and did the roll. Like, they're not going that fast, but just very cool. Just like, I love all this stuff. I want to make a TV show. That would be awesome to work on a TV show. And knowing all the stuff about how they do this stuff is awesome to me. So I just shout out to everybody that did that. Very, very cool. So they go to the library, and this is where Buffy learns about everything.
Yeah, Giles confesses.
Yeah, he's like, we gave you like muscle relaxers and all this stuff, and you're supposed to have a test if I thought that was cool. He says if the Slayer reaches their 18th birthday. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool, because that just shows like Giles knows this whole time, like Buffy, any day Buffy could die. Like
Yeah.
like I know it's a TV show, so we know like she's not gonna die really.
And it implies
who
that
knows?
a number of Slayers have died before their 18th birthdays. I mean,
Yeah.
earlier in the episode, Quentin Travers says that this test they're doing on her, the Cruciamentum, it's been going for a dozen centuries. A dozen centuries. So
Yeah.
like the Watchers Council has existed and done this test on Slayers for 1,200 years.
It's a long time.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is. Giles is just a normal guy, though, right? Like, I mean, I don't want you to spoil anything, obviously, but Giles, from what I know, he like ages normally and stuff.
Yeah, Giles
He's just like a normal man who is
Yeah.
like, from what I know, he's just like a 50-something-year-old man who is a watcher.
He was
That's what I know.
born into the Watchers Council.
He's not like always this age or anything.
No.
Okay. I'm wondering like how long he's been around, like if he's been around for centuries or something.
No, he's been around like 40 years.
All right, that's what I'm wondering. But I wanted to be careful, you know. So I thought that was a little silly. One part of this episode, Giles is like, "Welp, now that I told you, you don't have to do it." It's like, what? Well, then why didn't you just tell her to begin with and be like, "Oh, it was an accident, and I told her."
Well, he was trying to go along with the Watchers Council's wishes. Like, he's a watcher. He has to do this. They've been doing this for 1,200 years. But the Watchers Council is also right. He has gotten really close to Buffy, and he does have a father's love for her. And so he just reaches a breaking point, I think, at this point. Like, he sees Buffy helpless, trying to run away from Kralik, which is an incredible scene, by the way. She's running away like she's like running away from a slasher. It reminds me of I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes, the chases in this episode are awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. There's that one, and then there's like the one near the end when she's like replaces it with the water. When
Yeah.
the chases are all around.
It's the
I thought the same thing, honestly. It really is like a slasher movie. This
it's the
episode.
only time ever that you hear Buffy screaming like terrified.
Well, no, I brought up in the fire. She was like, Cordelia, the fire. Like, she really
But she's saying Cordelia the fire. In this, she's going, ah! Like, she thinks she's gonna fucking die.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm on the same page with you. I thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
I agree.
And so Giles sees this and I think reaches a breaking point where he's like, fuck this. I don't care this has been going on for 1,200 years. Like, I'm not subjecting this girl to that.
Yeah.
This person that I love.
I just thought it was a little silly. He's like, well, now you know, so you don't have to do it. And it's like, what? Well, then why not just tell her? Because clearly he loves her. That's why the whole thing happens at the end. It's like he prioritizes.
But he also has a job and a destiny or whatever.
Responsibility.
Or yeah. I think that's the word I was looking for.
So Cordelia shows up to the library, and this was a little funny. She's like, I have a test, so like if the world's gonna end, then like can I know about it so I don't study, And so, but she says like, but Buffy's like, I don't even know who you are anymore. And she's like, is she under a spell? He's Giles. And she's like breaking it down to her. It's really funny. And then she's like, really sweet. She takes her home. She's like, yeah, of course I'll take you home.
Buffy asks for a ride home, and I think Cordelia in that moment understands like, oh, something's wrong here. Let me just not be an asshole for a second.
Yes, very cool. I just love all these characters. They're all just very, very cool.
Yeah.
And so Mom gets taken. This was very funny. Just when I think like this scene, clearly all these scenes can't be that good. We get to like more great scenes. And here's another one. Mom gets taken, right, from Kralik, and there's a photo on the door, and it's Kralik and Mom tied up, and Kralik's like, I got your mom. And Mom's like, like all bugging out, and she's got tape on her mouth.
And it says, come.
Come, yeah.
Yeah, he's written on the back of the Polaroid, come.
Okay, did I get this part right about Kralik's story? That his mom cut off his penis?
What? Oh, you know what? I actually thought about it too. Yeah, and
Okay.
I never picked up on it before, but I think you might be right.
She says like his mom came at him with scissors and you won't believe what she cut off or
Yeah,
something.
might
I
be
don't
his
know.
penis. But he ends up killing his mom. He says, and I like how he ends the whole story with, "I've got a thing against mothers." So,
Yeah,
it's a
I thought that was
problem.
good. That was funny too.
Yeah.
But so that's the plan. Is he's gonna turn Buffy into a vampire and then have Buffy kill Joyce. Great stuff. Um, never mind. Never mind. And so we get to Giles and that old guy, right? An
Quentin
old guy.
Travers.
Yeah, he talks to him and he's like, everything's in place. Buffy's there. And Giles is like, what? I gotta go save her. And he says in this moment, and I remembered it in the moment. I was like, ooh, that's an interesting, great line. And he says, it's not business. And I was like, yes, fuck yes, Giles. And then later you're like, no, Giles, why'd you say that? Great part. It's just, I don't know. Great stuff. I mean, I wonder what's going to happen, obviously, moving forward. I have a lot of questions about it, but
Well,
I don't know. I
let's
don't really.
get to that.
Well, it's hard to like dissect. Like, I don't really know how I feel because I don't know what's gonna happen. But it definitely made me feel sad, right?
Sure.
Made me wish that
You mean that when Giles is fired from the Watchers Council?
Yeah, I was like, it made me feel like he shouldn't have said what he said. He shouldn't have revealed how much he cared about her.
Yeah.
Like that one slip up was like, it was like honestly one of the best moments of the whole series so far. I thought like,
It's a big turning point. Giles no longer a member of the Watchers Council, and next week, Logan, get a new Watcher.
yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Can't wait to find out. Hope it's Jenny Calendar. Jenny Calendar. So they kill Kralik. Great chase scene, and he's a crazy person. So Buffy pulls out the cross, and he's like, "Ooh yeah," and he,
I
like,
love
fucks
that
the cross a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. And then she runs off, and he's like, "Gotta get more pills. Gotta get more pills." And he takes more pills, but what do you know? She replaced his water with holy water. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, and it burns him from the inside out. Dead.
Yep. Sure does. And then we get, I guess, Buffy like unties mom or whatever, and we get back to the library. That old man's there.
Well, and that other vampire who, he turned one of the Watchers Council guys into a vampire, and
The other
he
guy
pops
died.
out, and Giles kills him.
But then that other guy died. Remember, he turned one, but then killed the
Yeah.
other one?
But I'm saying in this moment, she's trying to like untie her mom, and that other vampire pops up, and Buffy doesn't have to do anything because Giles is there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And but then back that old guy, wasn't it Quentin something?
Quentin Travers.
That's a cool name. It's a cool name. And he is like, congratulations, Buffy, you passed. And Buffy's like, get the fuck out of here, old guy. I hate you. You got to get out of my grill right now. And then, but he's like, Giles, I hate to tell you, you failed. You're not allowed to get that close to your Slayer.
Your
I guess.
charge.
Yeah. And so he's fired. I guess we're going to bring in a new one. But he does say, I'm going to stick around. I love Buffy, and nothing's going to keep me away from her, even if I'm not her watcher.
And they establish that he's still the librarian. So,
Yes.
he's going to be around.
Yes, they do. And I want to bring up, there are a couple rack focuses here. We see like from the old man, and then Giles in the background. We see like cutting from, it's like focused on the old man and then cuts to focus on Giles. And you're like, ooh, that's cool. And so there we go. And then we go to the end of the episode. We've got everybody hanging out in the kitchen, and they're making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I don't know why. They got nothing better to eat. But they're all there, and Xander's like, it's so great. You've got a great big strong man in the house to open jars for you, but he can't do it. And he's like, Willow, can you open it for me? Very fun. Top 5 ending of an episode.
Oh wow.
We're running out of it's like top 5 listeners. Like we're running out kind of.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of great endings. But I thought this was a great one.
Is the fountain still in the top 5?
That's top 3. I'd say. But great episode. I don't really. I guess that's it, right?
Yeah.
I give it a 4.
Me too.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And my MVP, I've got to go Buffy Summers. Bunny Summers.
Yeah, no, I am too. She's great in this episode. But shout out to Giles and shout out to Zachary Kralik, a great one episode villain.
Absolutely. But it's tough to go not Buffy.
No,
here.
she's so good. Like how heartbroken she is after she finds out what Giles did to her is so. It's so when Sarah Michelle Gellar wants to sell that Buffy's heart is broken, like it breaks your own heart. Like
Yeah.
this reminded me of her in Prophecy Girl, her whole speech, like I'm 16 years old, I don't want to die. And this is just as wrenching.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. So LVP, this is tough. I went with the second guy who dies.
Oh yeah, sure.
I didn't know who else.
I'll go with the guy who turned into a vampire. What's he doing stepping closer?
Yeah, that was really stupid. That was really dumb, honestly.
Dumb.
Maybe, I went with the guy who died because he's in the episode last. I was like, I'll just go that guy. But maybe you're right. Go with the guy who's in it, who got himself killed because of being a dummy.
Yeah.
That actually makes more sense. Like Cordelia's good. Like her, where she takes Buffy seriously in that moment where she drives her home, and then Oz is funny where he's like, "It's water, but not," or whatever it says. And Xander's good. And Willow, what is Willow? Willow doesn't have that much. Oh, she's trying to work on Rat.
Yeah. Willow's a little sidelined in this one for sure.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I'm actually going to change my pick. I'm going to go with the guy that gets himself killed rather than the guy who just accidentally dies.
Hell yeah.
Great job. And so the question is where to rank this. And to be honest, I think I go number 6.
Wow.
Okay? I think I go right between When She Was Bad. Is that the premiere of season 2?
That's right.
Is that the skeletons, right?
Sexy dance and skeletons, yes.
Oh, yeah. And right between that one and Prophecy Girl. The end of season...
season 1.
Wait. Oh, yeah, that's the end of season 1. Oh, that's the... he falls through, the master dies.
Yeah,
I
that's
think right.
I'm 16 years old, I don't want to die, which I just referenced.
Wow, so... I think that fits perfectly. I really love this episode. Honestly, when I was watching it, I was like, is this my favorite episode? And then I looked at the other ones, and I was like, no, there are some great Buffy episodes. There's some real great ones. But in the moment, I was like, this I told you, this is the episode where I realized, like, wow, I love this show.
All right, read me from whatever my number 5 is.
All right, from your why do you say that? You don't even know where your number 5 is. The Wish?
Yeah, go from there.
The Wish, Prophecy Girl, When She Was Bad, Lover's Walk, Lie to Me, Angel, School Hard.
Oh, well, hang on, huh? Lover's Walk and Lie to Me, Angel.
Then School Hard, then Halloween.
You could put this between Lover's Walk and Lie to Me. I mean, and yeah.
Okay, so between... So you have it 9, I have it 6, and you have it 9. Together, we get 69.
Nice, bro. Yeah.
All right, let's read from the Patreon, okay?
Yes.
Before I forget, I'll shout out to both Joshuas for sending sorry, I'm trying to refresh. For sending a little message or reply or whatever. So, first
Cole
up...
and Merlis?
Yes. What's going on? Oh, I had to load more comments. All right, so he said, Joshua Cole says, I can't wait for Logan to experience the joy and ridiculousness that is Anya. It's a shame her career wasn't better. And she's only been in one episode?
So far, yeah, but we'll see her more.
That was only last week, though, right? The
yeah,
one.
I'll tell you what, though. He says her career wasn't good, and, I mean, it wasn't great, but she had some stuff. She starred in that horror movie, Darkness Falls with the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, I like that movie. Who is she in that movie?
She's the lead.
She's the mom in that movie?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm not even kidding. When I was a little kid, like that movie scared me, and it was like my mom would always be like when she would like bring up Darkness Falls all the time. It's like that was like one of my favorite movies when I was a little kid. It was weird. I had like an obsession with that movie. Wow, Anya is the mom in Darkness Falls.
Yeah, and more recently, she was in that WandaVision.
Okay, who
Did you watch? Did you watch WandaVision?
Yeah, I really liked WandaVision.
She was like one of the main characters on that. She like lived in the
Wanda or Vision. Those are main characters.
I guess you're right. No, she like lived in the town. She was like one of the main,
like one of the ladies,
main moms, like one of the moms or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I remember she was getting some like some play online for a couple weeks. Like people thought she was going to be really important. Her character's name was Dottie.
What are you talking? Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that.
All right, whatever.
That's cool though. But I want to say though, Joshua Cole says the words Joy and Anya, and I want to shout out Anya Taylor-Joy. All right. So Josh Merlis says on the first ep, which was the gingerbread episode, he says, I can't tell if they did a great job researching Old German for the ancient text in this episode. I paused and read it, or a terrible job translating modern German. Seems like the latter, though. Either way, the spell that Giles says out loud was understandable. Okay. He tells Hansel and Gretel, I'm not going to read that, or should I try to read that?
Josh is...
Versteckt Uknight hinter Volsken Hinsteintern. Or don't hide yourselves behind false faces, and that locked the monster's true form. Yeah. So he knows more about it than Giles, I guess.
Josh lives in Germany.
Wow.
So yeah, he understands. He's a Jew living in Germany. He plays with fire. That guy.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was like, what's he gonna? I was like, he's gonna say he plays with fire. That's crazy.
But yeah. It's I read up on it, and apparently it's just like horrible German translation of that episode.
Okay, all right. Well, I didn't know. That's cool though. Great job, Josh. And then he says on the second episode, I was relieved that they didn't wait too long to reveal Giles' reason for drugging Buffy. Too bad. We probably won't see that slick talking vamp anymore. He was fun. Oh, you don't even.
Little do you know, we'll see him play a different character.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked him so much because we did, and so did production. They brought him back. Very cool. Yeah, I agree. I'm glad because if we really go to like we see him drug her, then we go to like another scene, and then she's like back being like, "What the hell is going on?" And then he kind of tells her. I agree. I thought this episode felt like really long. I don't know how they did it.
I know it's like dense with shit.
Yeah, it really like the way they structure it's really cool. I agree. That's a good point actually. I agree with that. I thought during the episode I was like this episode feels like sort of epic in a way. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Great job. Really great episode. Great job to you too, D-Train.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Did anybody else write anything?
No, Joshua Cole, Josh Merlis.
Just the Josh.
Where were you, week? Angelica? Well, they gave up. We haven't read their stuff. They gave up. Honestly, I don't blame them.
I know. Hey, we're going to start reading all this stuff, though. So check back in. Please.
Yeah, seriously, we're bad at it. But we'll get better.
Yeah. So next week on the show, Logan.
Yeah, what do we got?
We'll be covering episode 13, The Zeppo.
All right. I'm going to think that somebody starts a fire with a Zeppo lighter, and then they're like,
they burn the house lighter. Down.
Oh, a Zippo lighter? What's a Zeppo?
Zeppo is the name of one of the Marx brothers.
Oh, I'm gonna guess they show up then.
The Marx brothers?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell a Zeppo is. I've never heard of that.
All right, that's a big Xander episode. Oh, all right,
Zeppo for Xander,
and then. The episode 14, Bad Girls.
Ooh, Bad Girls. I'm gonna guess the girls let their hair down and they go party.
Honestly, you're pretty close.
That'd be a great episode. Yeah. You gotta break out that brown dress.
Oh yeah, the when she was bad dress.
Yeah, that would be great. Did you say that came back at some point?
No.
Did I make that? Okay, I made that up. Right,
you just wish. Came back in your dreams.
Yeah, that would be my wish if Anya was around. Bring out the brown dress. All right. Great job, D-Train.
Thank you. You too, Logan. Come on back tomorrow for Hey, I'm Watching Here. We're still on the Ninja Turtles next week. and 2 more classic episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer coming. I gotta say, 13 on is all killer, no filler. I don't
You
even
say every week, you're
No,
like,
no.
all right, but from now
But
on,
see, Gingerbread was a 3. I don't even think we got anything under a 4 going forward. Like this to
wow.
the end of the season, it's all 4s and 5s.
All right. Well, I never given a 5. We'll see if that happens.
All right.
I gotta do that at the end of this season. I might go back and re give some things some 5s.
Okay.
I feel like I messed up.
Which? All right.
Yeah. That'll be the teardrop from which will be the last 5 I give probably.
Okay. Logan, great as always. Happy talking Buffy the Vampire Slayer with you.
Yeah.
And we'll continue henceforth.